Verse 104 of Surah Al-Imran. And let there be among you a community inviting to good, enjoining what is right, and forbidding what is wrong. And it is they who are the successful. Summary of the interpretation of Surah Al-Imran, verse 104. The word nation in this verse may refer to a group belonging to a particular category. And the Almighty says, "And let there be among you a nation inviting to good." This statement means that among you, O believers, there will be a community that calls to good and forbids evil. Or that you all will call to good and forbid evil. However, there is a deeper understanding than this, which is that this verse commands that the entire Muslim community should be a community that calls to good, enjoins what is right and forbids what is wrong. Islam does not establish one group to advise others and another group to receive advice. Rather, we are all advisors and advisors. Sometimes you are the one giving advice, and sometimes you are the one receiving advice. We advise one another. Every believer must know that he is among the others, as is his fellow believer. One of them may succumb to temptation and commit it, while the other is not. Therefore, it is incumbent upon the one who is not weak to advise the weak. And the weak must also be mindful so that he may advise others. Calling to good means enjoining what is right, and forbidding what is wrong. Goodness is the seed that the believer sows in this world, and success is the fruit of that seed. A believer achieves success in this world through the good deeds he performs, and the good deeds he commands, and by avoiding the evil that God has commanded him to avoid. He also advises those who are weak in sin to avoid it. This is the goodness whose fruit is paradise and the pleasure of God Almighty. Verse 105 of Surah Al-Imran. And do not be like those who became divided and differed after clear proofs had come to them. And those will have a great punishment. Summary of the interpretation of verse 105. In this verse, God Almighty forbids the believers from acting like those who disbelieved, for they followed their desires which led to division. Those who disbelieved, despite the clear signs of God Almighty before them, persisted in their disbelief. By following their desires, thus they became divided and lost in the distractions of this world. Therefore they will have a great punishment from God Almighty. Surah Al-Imran, verse 106. On the day when some faces will turn white, and some faces will turn black, as for those whose faces turn black, it will be said, "Did you disbelieve after your belief? Then taste the punishment for what you used to disbelieve." Summary of the interpretation of Surah Al-Imran, verse 106. This verse from the Holy Quran clarifies the state of the believer and the disbeliever on the Day of Judgment. Allah Almighty says, "On the day when some faces will turn white and some faces will turn black. In the hereafter, the face of the believer will turn white with the light of faith and obedience, even if he was dark-skinned or black in this world. The face of the disbeliever will turn black because of his disbelief and distance from Allah, even if he was fair-skinned and handsome in this world. The whiteness in the verse is a sign in the hereafter for the believers, that they will enter paradise, while the blackness is a sign in the hereafter for those who disbelieve in God or those who deviate after knowing the truth. And their consequence is punishment, as God Almighty says. Did you disbelieve after your belief? Then taste the punishment. For what you used to disbelieve. This question expresses astonishment and rebuke. How could you know the truth and then abandon it? How could disbelief come after the light of faith?